So I've been harping on this coaching malpractice in the NFL for a while, and it happened again this week. So I just want to talk about the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell's kind of game management at the end of the game here. Now, I'm picking on Dan Campbell because it's just happened, but we have been crucifying Mel Gibson style Nathaniel Hackett and some other coaches for these same kind of decisions. So I want to illuminate what I'm talking about because I keep tweeting about it, I keep talking about it, and everyone seems to be talking about it now on social media or YouTube or ESPN or Fox Sports or whatever. So I'm going to break it down exactly what I'm looking at and why these calls are so bad and why they're costing NFL teams games. So this is earlier in the fourth quarter. So it's 3 minutes and 35 seconds left in the game. The Lions have 2 timeouts. The Vikings have 2 timeouts. It's 3rd and 1, and the Lions have the ball at about the 30-yard line. So Dan Campbell here elects to go for it. He elects to go for it, and they run it, and he gets stopped. Okay, so that's what happens with this play. We'll go ahead and let it play out. But I wanted to show you now, they're also 4 for 5 on 4th downs. So when he snaps this play, he's gone for it 6 times in this game, and he's 4 for 6 when this play is over with. So remember that. I'm showing this for context.
Well, they do it again. Handoff.
So they get stuffed.
And not going to get
whatever.
there.
It is what it is.
A huge stop.
Okay, so the Vikings get the ball.
Vikings defense.
So the Vikings get the ball. Kirk does Kirk Cousins things. The Lions end up getting the ball back. All right, so the Lions end up getting the ball back, and we go to this play right here, 3rd and 14. All right, so we're going to let this play out. So the Lions run. It's the 2-minute warning has already happened. The Vikings have no timeouts. So this is the classic first down and the game is over. The Vikings cannot stop the clock any longer.
Get down. They will
hand so we hit
it
the
off.
Run here.
Eat more of that clock. Well, Wade Williams almost broke
so
it.
He picks up 10 yards.
All the way down, a few yards shy of the marker.
All right, so Jamal Williams picks up 10 yards. So it's 4th and 4. All right, it's 4th and 4 on the 36, we'll call it, somewhere in there. By the 36. Campbell elects to kick the field goal. Now, this is the decision that is so wrong. All right, let's break down the entire thing. Now, obviously, he's thinking about this in real time. I was game casting this game because I had the Vikings. So I had the Vikings at -6. So I was game casting this game, and I saw this situation come up. And I thought in real time, I said, there's no way is Dan Campbell going to screw this up and kick a field goal. And I was hoping he would, because then I was hoping they would miss it. The Vikings would go down, kick a field goal, tie it up, go to overtime. Vikings win by 6 or 7 or whatever in overtime, and I either end up pushing or winning. So I was really invested in this. So he ends up kicking it, okay? So first of all, he's elected to go for it on 4th down 6 times in this game. So he's not against going for it, right? We understand that. And he just went for it. He just went for it on 4th and 1. Same kind of situation where he could have kicked it, same exact score, everything. Only now the big difference is that if he gets the first down, if he gets 4 yards, then the game is over. So the reward is that if he gets it, the game is over. So he elects in this situation to kick a field goal. Now, the way that you got to look at these scores is 24-21. The Vikings only have 1 possession really left. I mean, you can do onside kick and stuff, but really they have 1 possession left. So it's currently a 1-possession game. I know this seems very basic, but NFL coaches are screwing this up. So it's a 1-possession game, right? 1 possession, 3 points. If he kicks this and makes it, what does that make it? That makes it a 1-possession game. All the Vikings now just have to score a touchdown versus kicking a field goal. See what I'm saying? So his risk is that they miss the field goal and the Vikings get the ball in good field position, and it's a 1-possession game, right? They can win the game. His reward is that the Vikings it'll be a 6-point game, it'll be a 1-possession game, and he'll kick to the Vikings with 1 minute and 11 seconds left. So plenty of time. It's not like there's 4 seconds on the clock, right? If he kicks this and makes it, it's probably, we'll say a minute 8 by the time the Vikings get the ball. Now, another thing to remember here is that you have to do the proposition of what's the percentage chance you pick up 4 yards. Generally in the NFL, I think the average of like a 4th and 3, 4th and 4 situation is like 40%, a little over 40%. We'll call it 40% just for this. So there's a 40% chance to get the first down here and in the game. That's the most important part. It's not 40% chance to get a first down and then continue the drive. It's 40% chance to get a first down and kneel down and win the game. So you have a 40% chance to win the game. The other thing is that now it's factoring in the percentage chance that you make the field goal. So 54-yard field goal. So I have it pulled up here. The kicker for the Lions, Austin Seibert. Austin Seibert is, in his career, he's attempted 6 field goals of this length, and he's made 2 of them. So he's at about a 34% make in this exact situation. On the year, this was the first time he attempted one. He obviously misses it. But on the year, before this, he was 3 for 4. All right. In his career, out of all field goals, he's 80% with him being 25 and 25, 425, anywhere between 20 and 40 yards. So he's pretty good close up. I'll give him that. So it's less of a percentage. He's got to know this stuff. It's less of a percentage in his career to make this. I guess if you count this, he's 2 for 5. So he's 2 for 5. All right, in his career. And again, it's not equal because even if you make it, then the Vikings still have a chance. So the reward is not that high versus taking, if we just say that both situations are 40% chances. You have a 40% chance to make the field goal and a 40% chance to go for the first down. It makes no sense, absolutely no sense, to kick this field goal because nothing happens, whereas the other one, the reward is so much greater. Coaches, and the funny thing is that Matt Patricia, when he was coaching the Lions, he did this exact same thing. I believe it was in week 1, and he chose to kick a 55-yard field goal, and they lost the game because of it. And when that happened, I tweeted out and I said they should walk down and fire Matt Patricia's ass, because if an NFL head coach cannot understand that situation and make that easy of a decision, then they do not deserve to be an NFL head coach. And lo and behold, about 5 weeks later, they fired his sorry ass. And this situation right here from Dan Campbell's got the Lions in a position to win. Dan Campbell has the Lions playing well. Their offense is playing well. They have some great weapons offensively. Their defense is absolutely atrocious. Dan Campbell is showing that he can be that locker room guy. He can be the guy, the face of the franchise or whatever. But when it comes to these decisions, these analytical decisions that are happening in the games, specifically at the end of the games and the end of halves, these teams have to start hiring people to do this. Just like you have an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator or a special teams coordinator or a get-back coach, there's so many stupid positions on an NFL coaching staff. Why not have a guy who's an expert in probability and statistics or an expert in expected value or whatever, and have him in the booth where the only thing he does is buzz in and say, hey, Dan, actually ran the numbers. You might want to go for it here. Or a 2-point conversion. Hey, actually, it's better if you go for it here. And have a guy, even if you don't do it all the time. Because I do agree that I think in the NFL, you have to factor in like flow of the game. You have to factor in, momentum. You have to factor in stuff like that. So I understand if coaches don't want to do that. I understand if the coaches are saying, well, my defense is playing really, really well, so I don't want to take this chance. I'd rather just rely on my defense. But at least give the coaches the option. At least give them the choice, and to let them know, hey, it's a 46% chance to do this. It's a 46% chance to do this. Here's the other side of it. Football has advanced way too much, and this kind of stuff just blows my mind. So this was the Patricia situation I alluded to earlier. So this was in week 1, and the situation is very similar, where it's currently a 2-possession game, right? The 2-possession game the Lions have a 10-point lead. So he's going to make it a 2-possession game to a 2-possession game by, instead of being up 10, be up 13. So this is a situation where you should punt it because it's the same, but this has the risk of giving the Bears the thing that they need the most in the situation, which is time and field position. So if you miss this, the Bears all of a sudden get basically a free possession when, like we said, it's already a 2-possession game. So a free possession or free time is exactly what the Bears need. They're way more worried about the clock and their field position than they are about being down 13 or 10. They missed this. The Bears end up winning the game, and Matt Patricia was not the Lions coach for too much longer. Now I'll give my boy Dan Campbell this. He did speak to the media afterwards, and I guess he may have watched some of my videos or something, but he did say that he messed up and that he should have went for it. So let's go ahead and hear Big Dan in his own words.
I freaking regret my decision there at the end. I should have gone for it, 4th down, and told the team that I should have gone for it. Just felt like, you know what, let's kick the field goal. We go up by 6 and force them to score a touchdown for the win. They'll have no timeouts, and should have gone for it. I hate it. I just hate the decision. I wish I'd have put it back in their hands offensively, and so be it.
I'm not going to question him, but I wish I would have gone over there and demanded to stay on the field, and I guarantee he would have let us. So we all have our regrets in some ways, shape, or form, but ultimately we had 2 chances as an offense to finish.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see it. Like, you really do. And I'm not saying this to bash Dan Campbell, but you can tell that just given a little bit of information, a little bit of time to think, 40 seconds or a minute or whatever is not very long to make these decisions, especially when we're not used to it. This is new. This kind of line of thinking with game management and just kind of how you look at a game, this is new for a lot of these coaches, especially old school coaches like Dan Campbell who've been around for a long time. So, you can't expect Dan Campbell to know this stuff and make every decision correctly. And I'm not saying every coach should make every decision correctly, but the more this happens, the more it's just so obvious. Like they've got to start hiring people to be in his ear so that stuff like this doesn't happen.